Park Lane. My name is Miss Howell and I teach first grade. Welcome to our classroom. Today we are going to read The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing, excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today, where the Lorax once stood just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, the old Onceler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. You won't see the Onceler, don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in the lurkum, cold under his roof, where he makes his old clothes out of myth-buffered moot. And on special date midnights in August he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. There he is peeking out of his house. Down slips the whisper, muffled to your ear, and the old Onceler whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through the sniggerly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time ago. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swan rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place. And at first saw the trees, the truffle of trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffle of trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. Look how beautiful and colorful. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbalot suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffle of fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffle of trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh buttery milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. The Oncelers. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffle tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took a soft tuck and I knitted a thmeed. That's the thmeed. The instant I'd finished, I'd heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of a stump of a tree I had chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharply and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as she shouted and he huffed. "What's that thing you've made out of my truffula tuft?" Remember what that's called? A thneed, yeah. "Look, Lorax," I said, "there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed is a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats." The Lorax said, "Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool thneed." And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Oh no, they're knocking down truffula trees.
Hello. Can I come in and take some pictures for your book? Oh, I'm sorry.
Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloos, who played in the shade in their barbalet suits, and happily lived eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffula fruit to go round, and my poor barbaloots are getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. Oh no, they're so hungry."
Glad we have lunch at school,
They
right?
love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. "Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know? I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagon, I biggered my loads of thneeds I shipped out. I shipped them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more thneeds, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed and he wheezed, he sneezed and he snuffled, he snarled, he sniffed. "Onceler," he cried with a croakless croak. "Onceler, you're making such smogless smoke. My poor swummy swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off." "Where will they go?" "I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape the smog you smogged up around here." And I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap yap and say bad, bad, bad. Well, I have my right, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffula trees into thneeds, which everyone needs." And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside of the field came a sickening smack. of an axe on a tree, then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffle, a tree of them all. Goodness, do you think he's going to be able to make needs much more?
No.
Uh-oh. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smothered stars. Now all that was left beneath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. But now, says the Onceler, now you're here. The word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. He's down here trying to figure out how are we going to make this better. So catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffle seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last truffle seeds, and truffle trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffle, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. What do you guys think?
Good.
Awesome. Thank you, Park Lane, for coming to visit. Have a good day.